I wanna visit all the places nobody goes. I wanna teach all the things that nobody knows. I wanna grow wings, leave the coop, learn to fly. Bungee jump from the tallest building in Dubai. I wanna fly around town in my UFO. I wanna eat real food, not the GMOs. I wanna make moves, call the shots like the boss. I wanna love like I never lost.
Welcome back to Desertwood Days. I am here with Mr. Jason Baker. Hello, Jason.
Hello, how are you?
I'm awesome. I forgot that Jason J. Baker. You got to put the full name out there.
Sounds more regal that way.
Yes, it does. I just love your tie.
Well, thank you. I love your dress.
Thank you. Okay, we're matching up with the Reds here today.
We planned this in secret.
Yes, we planned it. Well, thanks for joining us here at Desertwood Days. It's such a pleasure.
I'm glad to have you.
I know what you meant. So, Jason, you are a part of JC Films Productions, right?
Yes, I was newly appointed the director of operations for the Phoenix Club.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about JC Films, and as the director of productions, what is it that Jason do?
So JC Films is a nonprofit Christian faith-based family movie studio. They've produced over 40 or so faith-based films over the years.
Oh.
It was started with Jason Campbell and Eric Estrada way back when, and now we've gotten some more influential
Was that
actors.
the Eric Estrada?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
The Eric Estrada. Yeah, Poncherello.
Yes.
Yeah. So they both started the studio years ago, and nowadays we've got some more celebrity type actors. You know, we have Dean Cain, who's involved in a lot of the projects that we do. Kevin Sorbo just recently joined on and was part of a film called Chosen.
Oh, okay.
With Dean Cain also. And then just this last week, we were filming in Wickenburg with Dean Cain and Eddie McClintock and Christy Lawrence from here. And so it's really taken off.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I've seen quite a few productions doing faith-based films over the last few years here in Arizona. Is that something you project we're going to be seeing a lot more of, as the faith-based films?
I think so, especially with the time of the days and all the things going on in the world. You know, we seem to have lost some of that wholesomeness, and the way that JC Films approaches films is it's a storytelling, and you know, want you to see a new light in things, and you know, so hopefully it'll rub off a little bit. We've got films now going up on Amazon and other streaming services, so it's getting out there, and they're looking pretty good.
So when with the faith-based films, you're doing storytelling, you're doing real life types of things. Are there certain things that you guys aren't touching, would you say?
No. If it's a compelling story and it's faith-based in a way, we'll tell it. You know, if someone out there says, hey, you know, I've got this incredible story, you know, of like a miracle that happened, you know, or whatever, come to us, you know, we'll write the script. We'll do whatever we can to make it a reality.
Oh, okay. So you guys are writing the script. If someone comes to you with an idea, you guys will write the script for them. But if they bring their own script, are you guys accepting what they've already put together and producing it? Yeah.
If we feel it can be made into a great film, we'll do what we can.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. So how does one get involved with JC Films?
Well, we have a production club that meets every Friday night at the studio, and we also do Zoom for those that are too far away, like who live in Tucson. We have some people that live in Tucson or Casa Grande up in Flagstaff, so that's how they are able to interact with the studio also. But we do our meetings every Friday night from 7 to 8, and that's how we decide on things that we're going to do, what projects we're going to do. We have our fundraising ideas, things like that we're going to be offering to raise the funds to make the films.
So you guys do a wide variety of things with JC Films Productions, charitable events. You guys also do have workshops and classes and things like that.
Yeah, we'll have new classes starting up this next year.
Okay.
Probably about mid-January, early February, we'll be starting up more acting classes. We're going to provide a basic stunt fighting and stage fighting class
Oh, okay.
because a lot of acting classes are going on,
Right.
but in theater and in film, there's fighting and people getting shot or beat up or whatever.
Sure.
And I was the stunt coordinator in Tombstone for 2.5 years.
Oh, okay.
So if doing stunts, I don't want anyone to get hurt.
Right.
You make it look like they get hurt, but a lot of people aren't trained in that. And so I feel it's unnecessary
True.
for people to learn just the basics of
Right.
it so no one can get hurt. And it'll pay off in the end for them as actors. And
Right.
you get to go onto set, you already know the basics of stunts.
Right.
So you're less likely to have an injury. And that same goes with stage as well.
Right, right. And I mean, and really assessing the situation. Though, if you already have a injury or a certain type of injury, you're going to teach them the right way to do it so that they don't further damage themselves.
Oh yeah, there's a right way to fall and a wrong way to
Right.
fall. Yeah, so
Right.
and in reality, when you're doing stunts, it's more of just like a laying down than people think.
Oh.
So
So you guys are located in the Tempe area, correct?
yes,
Is there plans for new locations as well?
actually, we have locations popping up all over the country right now.
Okay.
We just opened up a new location in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay.
The Orlando one opened up a few months ago.
Oh,
There's planning on one being in Louisiana. There's also Bridgeport, Ohio, and a few other places. There were plans for LA to open up one in LA. So it's getting around, and there's a lot of interest, and people are really wanting to be a part of things.
wonderful to hear.
Because JC Films, when we tell the story, we don't hold back from telling the story like a lot of people do. They'll take things out that they don't feel is right. But if it's part of the story, we keep it in there to make it as real as possible.
And that was going to be my next question. With JC Films being new to Arizona, and there's quite a few other established schools that's been here for quite a while. How has JC Films? How has Arizona taken to JC Films?
We've got a great response. We've had great experiences. The sets and the films that we're doing, they're very uplifting. So people have been responding very well.
That's good, and I think people want to see some uplifting films.
They do.
Yeah,
And
some real life. I mean, they want to see things that really happen in life that they can relate to.
absolutely. And that's with one of our new films that'll be released in February. It's called Fathers.
Okay.
And that's based on actual true story. And it's about parent alienation and what fathers have to go to be a part of their kids' lives.
Oh.
And it's not only against mothers saying that they're whatever,
Sure.
but it's also the system.
It's a
and
different story, is what it is.
Yeah,
It
how the
needs to be
system
told.
perceives fathers,
Right.
even to this day and age. Men, we found out the statistics was 80% of divorced people, the mother files first, and out of that 80% get custody. So there's a real indifference in children being with their fathers and mothers. The time is way off, and it's damaging to the children.
Speaking of that movie, Fathers, this was based on your story, your life story, correct?
Yes, it was
So
inspired by it.
Can you tell us a little bit about it, as
So
much as you care to share?
yeah, I'd been in an 8-year custody battle for my son, and throughout those 8 years, there's been some abuse that's happened to him and whatnot, and the courts just don't want to see it. Unfortunately, even with evidence pointing at them, they don't want to see that a mother could possibly be allowing something to happen. But it's gotten better over the years, and we have more time together now, and things are a lot better. So.
Oh, I'm happy to hear that. You know what? My saying is always that the child doesn't need to be involved in the adult's issues. I mean,
Exactly.
not keeping the child away from the father or the father keeping the child away from the mother for because of whatever's going on in their lives. I
Right.
mean, because it only affects the child.
It
So
does. It does.
I'm happy to hear that you shared that story because a lot of people need to see that.
They do, and in the film, it gives them hope
Mm,
that yeah, I'm going to get to see my dad more.
mm,
You know, I'm going to get more quality time with my father. And you know, my son is 10 years old, and all he wants to do is hang out with dad. Yeah. So
has he seen the movie?
no, I think he's still a little too young because
Oh.
he's lived some of that movie.
Oh, okay.
So, but he's heard the song for the film, and when he heard it, he's like, "Dad, that's your song to me."
Oh,
And I'm like, "Yeah, you know, but I didn't
that's
write
sweet.
it."
But it's still
but
that's sweet.
it really is. The guy who wrote the song, his name is Jim Cavalier, and we were sitting down talking on the scene one day shooting, and I said, "Jim, this is exactly every word that any father that's had to fight for their children wants to say. You nailed it 100%." And it really is. It's an amazing song. It's yeah, I can't say enough about
Right.
the artist that sang it, Michael Lusk. Just amazing.
And just to know, this topic isn't about a mother versus a father. Right here, we're talking about entertainment in regards to a story that's being told for fathers. So
Yep.
we don't want anyone saying, "Oh, well, you only saw one side."
no,
So
there's
it's not about that.
yeah, it's not. It's not always just the mother
Right.
or the dad.
Right.
You know, the system is a big part of the problem.
Right. You know what? It's all about taking care of our children.
Yep.
That's what it's about. So we were speaking about fathers, and you had a role in there. You were the lead in there.
Yeah, there were 3 fathers in the movie, and I was one of the
Okay.
3.
Okay. So being an actor, when did you decide that you wanted to be an actor, Jason?
Probably about 5 or 6 years old, seeing the Bionic Man on TV, you know, and I was like, oh, that's great. And my uncle was a professional theater actor also. So he kind of molded me. And the first thing that he drilled into my head is that anyone can be an actor.
Mm,
The secret is to become what you're acting as.
right.
And
Right.
so I've kind of lived by that. You
Okay.
become your character.
Okay. So you threw out a lot of names there that a lot of us remember, which you look is dating us. Because you know that was one of my shows, The Bionic Man,
Yeah.
Bionic Woman. I love those shows. You also you mentioned Tombstone.
Yes. When I moved here to Arizona, I was in the January of '99, and it was after my father's passing, who had owned a Wild West show in Tombstone, and so I came down to Tombstone to, you know, finish off his estate and whatnot, and I met a couple of guys that I had actually met years before and didn't even realize I had met them. And they had the other show in town, one of the other stunt shows in town. And
Okay.
they were like, hey, why don't you come in and join us? And, you know, we'll get you working as a stuntman. Well, you know, and next thing I know, I'm being shot and beat up and blown up and falling off of horses and you know, having a great time and a great experience.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And after 6 months of being there, they were part of a group that's called the Old West Living History Foundation
Oh, okay.
that does these big reenactment
Mm.
gunfight competitions and
Right.
such. And 6 months after being in Tombstone, I ended up taking Best Actor, Best Stunts, and Most Authentic Costume in the Old West reenactment
Well,
competitions.
congratulations there.
Thank you.
So a sad situation with your dad's passing turned into some good things for you in your life.
Absolutely.
Yes, and that's the way it's meant to be. Yes. So you brought some media for us to see from your last film, correct?
Actually, no, this is from my first short film that I
Oh.
starred in when I moved up here to Phoenix.
Okay.
And it's called Drain, and it's about 2 homeless people that were here in the Phoenix area and
Oh.
what they do to survive.
Okay. Were you one of the homeless people?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I was.
Okay. So let's take a look at Drained.
Just need a break, just for a minute. So seriously, just how far, how many more blocks do we get
3
there?
blocks down, 6 doors over. Come on, 1 block less than the last time you asked.
Okay, 6 blocks, 3 doors. No, 3 doors, 6 blocks.
Come on, Lenny, don't pay any attention to the stupid They're all over the place. Their stupid eyes looking down at us. It's this rotten place, man. You know, all these assholes, their dumb faces, this burning pavement. Yeah, it's like we're in an oven all the time. We're headed for better places, my friend.
Yeah,
So then it's your choice this time. Where are we gonna go next?
someplace cool with water. Lots of water. Like water everywhere. Like,
Like the beach?
yeah, the beach.
Like that place we went last winter. Remember that? Remember that bottle of tequila we found right there in the sand? Now those were good times. This place? This place is fucking hell, Lenny. You know? Lenny? Lenny! I feel like I did when I was a kid.
That's awesome. He's like, he's just still walking. Lenny wouldn't find him a place to rest and cool off.
Yeah, Lenny wasn't doing so well in that shot. He'd have actually been shot the night before.
Oh.
So
Okay.
he was bleeding out as they were walking along.
Oh, poor Lenny.
Yeah.
So this was a short?
Yeah, this was a short film. It was called Drain, and it was filmed in 2008 by Synthetic Human Pictures.
Okay.
And my co-star, Charlie Stake, it was my buddy that was leading the way.
Yeah, he looked a little like Donny Osmond.
Well, Charlie, actually, his first movie, if I remember correctly, was the movie Christine, about the car.
Yes.
Way
Oh,
back
okay.
in the 80s. So yeah.
Now, see, you're dating us some more.
I
here.
know. Yeah.
Okay, so and this was filmed in downtown Phoenix because that area looked really familiar.
Yeah, it was filmed downtown Phoenix, right there before, as they were building the light rail. There's another scene where we're actually crossing over the light rail tracks.
Okay.
So, and it has now won over 13 awards.
Really, congratulations.
Thank you.
May I ask that? Did Lenny die?
I can't give away that
Oh, you
spoiler.
can't give up
No.
Okay, I pray that Lenny's okay.
I can't tell.
Tell us about one of your favorite roles and why.
I'm sad to admit, but one of my favorite roles, it was playing Johnny Ringo down in Tombstone.
Okay, and
Yeah.
why was that your favorite role?
Because the bad guys get to say and do whatever they want.
Oh.
And, you know, I got to do the gun juggling and whatnot. But,
You like being a bad guy?
only on film.
You're like, I better think about that one.
Yeah, only on film, you know.
What advice would you give to an aspiring actor? And I say this all the time. I like to ask this to our mature audience, our mature actors, because we get in our heads and we think because we're a certain age or we're certain this that we're too old to start up doing this, getting into this field of work. What advice would you give to someone in your age range?
Never give up. Never give up. You know, I took a 10-year break and I came back and I'm doing great things now, and I never look back on any kind of negativity or anything else like that. Someone tells you you can't do it. Oh, let me prove to you that I can.
Right,
Let me show you that I can,
right.
and show them and do it. And when you get a role that you don't know anything about, I didn't know anything about being homeless.
Mm-hmm.
So Charlie and we went out for 2 days walking around and being homeless.
What was that experience like for you?
Eye-opening on how the homeless are treated, how they're looked down upon, and that, people don't really want to interact with them. Even the police.
Don't even want to make eye contact with them most times.
Yeah, and that's a lot of what it was, is when we were walking around and we found that, most people didn't even want to look at us.
So how did that experience change your mindset?
Well, I've always tried to help the homeless. My parents were big on, I come from a big Christian family. So every year, Christmas time and then Thanksgiving, we volunteered and, did free meals and things like that. So try to do the same thing nowadays or give in some way possible to people.
That's wonderful, because we can talk about things, but if we're not being about it, trying to bring about change, what good is it?
Right.
What?
Right.
Why are you doing what you do in the industry? Why are you doing these films, or why are you doing it if it's not to help someone else or bring about change?
Well, that's the biggest thing is to make an influence, to make a change, to make something better, to bring awareness
Right.
to a situation. Because a lot of people don't know people's own personal tragedies.
True.
Everybody has one. Everybody's been through one. People are, I'm no drama. I'm drama free. No, there's drama everywhere.
You speaking of fathers, that's something that you went through.
Mhm.
That's traumatizing for people. I
Yes.
mean, there's no one can go through a divorce and child trying to battle to see your child and not get some type of trauma.
yeah.
So that's going through something in your life.
Yeah, there are many times where you just kind of put your hand in your head and you break down, you cry, and you want to yell at the world, but you realize that you have to be stronger than that, not only for you but for your children.
Right.
So that's what gets you through. But there's a lot of people that can't make it.
That's true. What's next for Jason?
Next for Jason is taking JC Films forward in the new direction with the new year. We're going to be establishing people for lead positions that do crew, casting, writing, locations, fundraising. So it's going to be a lot more fun and interesting. We're going to have a lot more projects that we're going to be doing.
Awesome.
JC Films is going to be kicking out films not only here but across the country. Like one a month almost once
Wonderful.
everything gets going. Yeah.
Well, I'd like to say congratulations on your new role at JC Films,
Thank you.
and continue to bring about change. That's all I can ask for you to do, for being an Arizona native, someone in our community that believe in bringing about change. Continue to do what you're going to do.
Thank you.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
because that's what we're here for.
Yes, it is.
Where can our audience reach you?
My Facebook is Jason J. Baker, and you can also find us at the JC Films Phoenix, JC Films Production /Phoenix on Facebook, or jcfilms.org.
Wonderful. It was such a pleasure having you here
You too.
and learning more about JC Films. And we look forward to this, whatever's next for you and JC Films.
Thank you. It was great being here.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us today here on Desertwood Days, and we will catch you next time.